Good morning. Today we'll start with genetic disorders. Now, pedigree analysis. Now, what is pedigree analysis? Now, various disorders through variations, they are inherited and they are there in the human society for a very long time. And this results in the heritability of certain characteristic features in families. And when the Mendel's work was discovered, the practice of analyzing inheritance pattern of the traits in human beings, it started. Now, control crosses that can be performed in pea plants or some other organisms, but that is not possible in human beings. So, because their life cycle, their age is a little more than to study their family history. So study of the family history about inheritance of a particular traits, that can be done, and such an analysis of trait in the generation of a family is called as the pedigree analysis. In pedigree analysis, what is done is inheritance of a particular trait is represented in a family tree over generations. Now, in pedigree study, that acts as a strong tool to utilize the trace of inheritance of a specific trait or abnormality or a disease. Now, there are certain standard symbols we use. I'll be showing you the chart of the pedigree analysis, how we use various symbols to find out the inheritance pattern in a particular family. Now, each and every feature in an organism is controlled by one or the other gene located on the DNA, which is present in the chromosome. We know that already. And DNA is the carrier of the genetic information, and it is transmitted from one generation to the other without any change or alterations. But the changes or alterations, they do take place. So such changes or alterations in the genetic material, that also results in mutations, which we have discussed previously. And a number of these disorders, they are there in the human beings. They are found to be associated with the inheritance of changed or altered genes in the chromosomes. So let's see how we can find it out. Mendelian disorders. Now, these are the genetic disorders basically. So Mendelian disorders, they are mainly determined by alteration or mutations in the single gene. So genetic disorders we classify into two categories mainly: Mendelian disorders and chromosomal disorders. Now, Mendelian disorders, they are determined by alteration or mutations in a single gene, and these disorders are transmitted to the next generation on the same line as we have studied the principles of inheritance of Mendel. And the pattern of inheritance of Mendelian disorders, they can be traced in the family tree through the pedigree analysis. Now, mostly Mendelian disorders are like this, like hemophilia, cystic fibrosis, sickle cell anemia, color blindness, phenylketonuria, and thalassemia. Now, these Mendelian disorders, they can be dominant and recessive, as we have studied in the pea plant. And by pedigree analysis, we can easily understand whether the trait which we are studying is dominant or recessive. Now, the traits may also be linked with the sex chromosome, like in the case of hemophilia. Here, the trait can be related to the X chromosome, so that is called as the X-linked chromosome trait, and it shows transmission from the carrier female, because X chromosome mainly related to the female, so it carries from the carrier female to the male progeny. That chromosome is derived from the mother and goes to the son, so that is the carrier female transmitting it to the male progeny. So there are various dominant and recessive traits, and we'll just see how we can study it through a pedigree chart. Now, this is a pedigree chart and the various symbols they are being used here. This is an unaffected male. This square box represents the unaffected male, and this red square box represents the affected male. And a circle the circle shows the unaffected female, and the red circle shows the affected female. So here we can see that when an unaffected male is married to an affected female, so what are the possibilities of the first generation? We'll find that here the male is affected, here also affected male, and one affected female is produced in the first generation. Now in the second generation, these are the possibilities of the that particular trait which is inherited in the generations through this pedigree tree analysis that we can study. Now here we can find this, the representation of pedigree analysis of autosomal dominant trait like myotonic dystrophy. This is one of the traits which is transferred through genes to the next generation, and that is also autosomal recessive trait, for example sickle cell anemia. So here this chart is representing the dominant autosomal dominant trait, and this chart is representing the autosomal recessive trait of the sickle cell anemia. Here we can see the affected female marries normal male. So what are the possibilities in the first generation? We find that this is the ratio that is produced, and in the F2 generation we find that it is the dominant trait is there in the form of myotonic dystrophy. Whereas in this case we find that the trait is recessive because it is not there in the parents, but it do appear in the next generation. So it is a recessive trait which may not be there in the parents, but it do represent it in the next generation. Here it was there in the parental characters, and it has appeared as a dominant trait in the next generation. Hemophilia. Hemophilia is a sex-linked recessive disease, and it shows its transmission from the carrier female to some of the male progeny. And in this, a single protein that is a part of the cascade of proteins is involved in the clotting of blood. Now in this, the affected individual, if there is a simple cut, then there is a non-stop bleeding occurs. So that is why it is also called as a bleeder's disease. And the heterozygous female that acts as a carrier for hemophilia may transmit this disease to sons. And the possibility of the female becoming a homophilic is extremely rare, because mother of such a female has to be at least carrier, and the father should be hemophilic, which may be unviable in the later stage of life. So here we can say that the females, they are generally being hemophilic is extremely rare, because such female has to be, mother of such female has to be carrier, and the father should be hemophilic. Only then the female is hemophilic. So the family tree of Queen Victoria shows a number of hemophilic descendants, and she was a carrier of this disease, hemophilia. When we talk of sickle cell anemia, this is an autosomal linked recessive trait, and that can be transmitted from parents to offsprings when both the partners are carrier for the gene or they are heterozygous. So they may not be affected individuals, but they may be the carriers. So if they are carriers and they are heterozygous, then there is a possibility of transmitting this disease. So disease is controlled by a single pair of alleles, that is HBA and HBS we are representing here, and out of 3 possible genotypes, only homozygous individuals, if the individuals they are homozygous, then they show this disease phenotype, and heterozygous individuals, they appear unaffected but they are the carriers of this disease, as there is 50% probability of transmission of this mutant gene to the progeny, thus sickle cell and then showing the sickle cell anemia. This defect is actually caused by the substitution of glutamic acid by valine at the 6th position of the beta globin chain of the hemoglobin molecule. Now this substitution of amino acid in the globin molecule results due to single base substitution at the 6th codon of the beta globin gene from GAG to GUG, that is the code, and the mutant hemoglobin molecule that undergoes polymerization and shows low oxygen tension, causing the change in the shape of the RBC from biconcave disc to elongated sickle-like structure. So that happens in sickle cell anemia. Phenylketonuria, that is an inborn error of metabolism, and it is also inherited as autosomal recessive trait. And the affected individuals, they actually lack an enzyme which converts the amino acid phenylalanine into tyrosine. And as a result, this phenylalanine is accumulated and converted into phenylpyruvic acid and other derivatives. Now, accumulation of these in the brain also results in mental retardation, and these are also excreted through urine because of its poor absorption by the kidneys.